Beep, beep, incoming transmission. Welcome to the Captain's Quadrant, and I'm your guest host tonight, VHS Jace, and of course with me is Jason Roy Gaston and the ever-talented Battle Cat. Welcome.
Yes, and she's not pleased to be here at all. She's very angry.
Well, guys, if you haven't noticed, Joe, our Captain Joe, is not with us this week. Look, unfortunately, Joe was in hospital this week getting... Yeah, I know, but we should mention the fact that he was in hospital this week getting an operation. But I don't want anyone to panic. Everything's fine. They were able to remove it, and thankfully the butt bug is going to be fine and expected to make a full recovery. So, I'm glad the butt bug is going to be okay.
That poor butt bug. Talk about boldly going where no one wanted to go.
And the thing is, Jason, it had to come out the same way it went in. So, yeah, I'm sure Joe may be walking funny for a little bit. But we do miss our leader, our captain, and wishing him a full recovery. He's in the chat, I would assume, annoying everybody. So, nevertheless, Jason, we need to get on with the show. So, how about you do some... Well, you're just battling with Battle Cat. How about you do the synopsis for us? Yeah, you can't see the synopsis.
Okay, show me that synopsis. Here we go.
I am showing that synopsis.
Captain Burnham. I can see the synopsis. I can see the synopsis.
You can read it. It's on screen right now.
Captain Burnham. Oh, gosh, will you stop interrupting me? Captain Burnham must consider breaking the Prime Directive when a local tradition in a pre-warp society threatens Tilly's life. Culber tries to connect with Stamets, and Adira steps up when Rayner assigns them a position on the bridge.
Now, fair shake of the dice. The only reason I'm interrupting because there's a hell of a delay tonight. Jason is just in the aftermath of a storm over there in Texas because they don't do things subtly over in Texas. So there is going to be a delay.
For those of you in the area, my thoughts and well wishes go to Wall. I understand that they caught a really bad tornado just a few miles away from us. So hoping everybody over there is okay, and we're thinking about you.
All right. In saying that, Jason, let's move on to First Contact. Thanks. All right, Jace. Spill your guts. Let me know what you thought of this episode.
Well, if I had to use any kind of adjective to describe this week's episode, it would be thoughtful. This is the most classic Trek episode of Discovery I think that we have seen in a good long while. And I mean that in a completely positive way, because it was philosophical. It was very deep in thought, and it brought up a lot of interesting and provoking questions, some of which have no right or wrong answer. I thought it was very well written. I thought it was very well acted, and it was very subdued, which is something Discovery is not very well known for. They're the ones who have flamethrowers on the bridge that shoot up every time somebody, farts in the wrong place. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I thought it was fantastic.
Look, I tend to agree with you that it was a good episode. It felt very TNG for me, which to me was a plus because that's where my allegiances lie. Look, I like Tilly in this episode, except one moment which she almost became a space carrot. But the rest of it, I thought she had a good role. Michael Burnham, I felt like she was enjoying herself this episode because there were a couple of moments she really loves the mystery of this all, which I thought was pretty good. Look, I love little moments like Adira getting to go on the bridge and Rayner mentoring her. I thought that was wonderfully just a little storyline, but it's really great for her confidence. So I thought that was really cool as well. Yeah, it is very, I mean, the Prime Directive at this point is a prime suggestion, I would suggest, by the end of this episode.
Been since 1969.
But overall, yeah, it's a solid, and I would say, like you said, a traditional episode. A very simple plot, which I really appreciated, because then you could spend the time getting into the more spiritual questions. I initially had problems with the doctor and the engineer couple. Not for the reasons you're thinking. I just thought they were boring. I thought they were ho-hum, kind of boring relationship. But this brought something to it, I thought. We have a division now, a supportive partner, which is important, but someone who's not going to be able to understand what Culber's going through with his spiritual journey. So I thought that was an interesting thing to do with their relationship. Yeah, and Booker had a wonderful speech at the end, although I wasn't happy with his thoughts about trying to hook back up with Michael Burnham. A bit simpy for me, mate. You've been dumped. Move on, buddy. Move on.
Yeah.
So
I gotta agree with you on that one. But I will not disparage the best cosmic dads in the world. I love those two together. I love the found family dynamic with Adira and Gray. They're such a great family, and I just love them.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's nothing wrong with them, a couple, but they're a standard, loving couple. And I don't need to watch Star Trek with that. I got that at home and such. So the problem is with it, it's a double-edged sword, Jason, because you have this very nice, stable couple, which is very rare to see on a Star Trek show, to be honest with you. I mean, relationships tend to be complicated in the Star Trek universe, but the double-edged sword with that, it's hard to build drama upon that because of their stability. And I think they found an interesting way with this spiritual journey that Culber's going on. But but I am done with now next episode, we've got to find the next piece. Kind of let's maybe do two in an episode. Let's just get to the meat of it. That would be my.
Yeah, they have two pieces left. There's like 4 episodes left this season. They got time.
Yeah, but it's a very video game.
This is the part in Legend of Zelda, the one with the boat, where they're hunting all the pieces of the tribe. Yeah, the Wind Waker. Yeah. They're going around, they're putting the claw into the ocean, and they're like, oh, look, it's a piece.
Another little shard of the Triforce.
Look in the map. Let's see where we go next.
Greatest Zelda game ever made. Oh, second Zelda. Second best. Breath of the Wild was. Anyway. We're not here to talk about Zelda, are we? We're here to talk about Trek. So let's move it on, Jason. I think we've kind of given it our initial thoughts of we thought in the episode, and let's fire at will.
Fire at will.
Fire at will, Jace. I'm going to fire something off at will, and it's not even about this episode, but I've got to take over for a minute. Last week, you and Joe represented Captain's Quadrant in a fantastic online, what could you say, this fantastic YouTube channel called Trexperts Quiz. And if you can see number 2222, Captain's Quiz, you and Joe got to go on there. And I got to say, it looks like you were going to lose. It wasn't looking good. But you, mate, in the warp speed segment, mate, you came through.
Yes, I did.
Far second place. I thought you're done for, mate. You steamrolled it, which was fantastic. However, I did have an issue with the quiz, and it wasn't potentially anything they did, because Trexperts Quiz, run by, and a big shout out to David Willett, because he runs a fantastic show over there. Good Aussie lad too. See, takes talented Aussies to make these things work. However, there was a bit at the end that kind of annoyed me a little bit. I'm just going to play the clip. And we'll go from there.
You can find us weekly 9 p.m. on Fridays, where Jason Roy Gaston and I actually have quite the qualm and are joined by VHS Jess to talk about Star Trek. Yes, Jace.
Who's VHS Jess?
I just figured you not interrupt me, man. Nobody would have caught that. If you
I'm making mistakes, and I'll stop interrupting you.
Okay. There's a couple of things I need to do with that. Number one, I've been filming with Joe for over 2 years. and the fact that he called me VHS Jess, that's one thing. All right, that's one thing. It's the other thing where he said, "Why are you interrupting me? No one would have noticed." I noticed, Joe. Me.
Yeah, we all noticed.
You weren't getting away with that, buddy. You weren't getting away with that.
I was not going to let that go unchallenged. I had to say something. I had your back.
And I
Listen,
appreciate it.
I think Joe just had Jess Bush on the mind, and just it was a Freudian slip. You know, it's kind of like that one time that. It's kind of like that one time I was talking to Joe about you, and I meant to say VHS Jace is such a delight to this channel, and I actually said something like, "That horrible Ozzy, I hope he burns in hell."
Yeah.
It was
I've heard that
it was
a few times from you, Jason.
an innocent slip. That's all it was.
Well, what can you say, Joe? Do better, buddy. All right. We hope you're feeling better, but maybe do some vocal warm-ups before you go out and mention me, VHS Jess. I mean, because there you go. Me and Jess Bush, we kind of look alike, don't we? So it's an easy mistake to make.
You both got long, lovely, flowing hair. You just got it in different spaces. She's got it on her head. You have it running down your back.
Yes, of course. And I currently braid it. It's braided at the moment.
It's fantastic.
Just to let you know. Fantastic. All right, back to the episode as such. No, look, they're doing something really. I think they've been very meticulous this season in their writing, haven't they? Because everything
they have been
kind of like the MacGuffin that they're building. Everything has its place. There's a different piece to this giant puzzle, which is, I think, probably hasn't been done better on Discovery to this point. I think this is the best we've seen. That seems to be they've paid it. They always have an arc, but this feels like they're dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
I have to agree. I think that what is this, episode 6, right?
Yeah,
I don't
know.
Yeah, this has been the strongest, most confident season of Discovery ever. Now we have yet to see if they stick the landing, because again, Discovery's not very good at doing that, at least not in the last couple of seasons. But I have enjoyed this series more than I have enjoyed it in the past, because it does seem like that they are taking extra time to not only refine the arc story that goes on in the background, but also to make sure that each episode is capable of being enjoyed on its own, that I don't have to watch the entire season to watch a whistle speak and realize, hey, this was a good story from beginning to middle to end. I love that every single one of these adventures that they go on teaches the people who are seeking the treasure a lesson. I just really enjoy that, and it's all a lesson. This week it was all about, the dangers of technology. I thought I've just been noticing every single episode has taught a lesson that people who are seeking this technology can use. And I also think it's interesting how Discovery is, you know what? I'm going to save that for later, because I don't need to say anything about it yet.
Okay, all right. One criticism I do have, and I kind of mentioned it last week, and I need to go on with it, is where in the world is Saru?
He's getting a little Vulcan something.
Yeah. Mind you, okay, that was a little 90s reference if you haven't picked up on that logo, mind you. So think about it. But where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I was proud of that. Look, I had 5 minutes to do that Photoshop, and I did it, and I'm happy with it.
I can tell.
Too bad. Yes. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Designer. All right. Hey, you know what you did do for us, though, Jason? You got a bunch of awesome images from the episode. So
yeah, I was about to say, where are they? I worked like 2 minutes on those today.
They're there. Do you want me to start? Let's start throwing up some of them.
Is it my? Oh, thank you for saying my images need to be look like they're thrown up. Thanks. Am I in charge of the images? Is
Can
that why
you
they're not
get access to them, Jace? If not,
yes, I can see them. They are right here. Hold on.
You go ahead, my friend.
Oh, look at that beauty shot! Oh my gosh! You know what? People dump on the Discovery for some unknown reason. I think she's a beauty. I love those extra long nacelles. I love that weird cutout primary hull. I think she's
the donut. I've come to love the donut.
I love the donut. The donut is beautiful, and I love the Tron accents that she got when she got. She is a handsome lady, and I just love her.
Yeah, the Tron upgrades are pretty sweet. They're pretty sweet. But yeah, I look at how about the David Cronenberg? Always love me seeing some David Cronenberg. He makes his appearance again in the middle there. I hope they never really explain his background. I hope they just leave him a total enigma.
I don't want them to explain who he is. I don't want them to explain what the White Room is. I just want Lawrence Fishburne to wander around in the background with a trench coat and just go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was my time in here," and just walk off. That would be.
I've got this book for $2.30. You know,
I would not even be mad. Just do it. I would just be. They did it. They can't do the butt bugs, but they did this.
But there you go. What do you think about the villagers? Like, what did you think about the people in the town? The dust lovers.
I did not mind them. I rather enjoyed the culture. Now, watching it a second time, you really get the disturbing undertones of what's going on once you realize what is going on. But I really thought it was a neat little culture. It was something we hadn't seen in a while. And if I have any complaints, it's that the whistle speak was not used anywhere near as much as I wished it was used, because I thought that was rad. And we only heard it. We only heard it at the beginning of the episode whenever they were explaining what it was. We heard it a little bit on the planet, and then nothing until the very end when Discovery leaped out and you heard that. And I just thought, that is so haunting and beautiful. Why was that not exploited more?
Yeah, and it is a missed opportunity. And no, Joe, I'm not playing that segment. It was a missed opportunity. I agree with you on that. It is beautifully made. I will give you that.
It is. It is.
Now, one thing I really loved was when they were getting the dust out of the old lady from the Matrix. But I love the idea they vibrated it out of her.
Was that not a cool visual effect, though? I know we've seen it before, but I just love that, where everything's vibrating except for the character's face.
Mm-hmm.
And it's distracting and disconcerting and a little bit creepy. And I loved it. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, look, it's definitely, but they are a cult. Let's play this.
Yeah, they're a cult. They're a cult.
Without doubt, you know. And Tilly's reaction when she finds out, like, oh no, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, I just love that whenever they said, "Oh, we appreciate your sacrifice," and she's trying to be on the down low with her communicator. She goes, "Sacrifice." I just loved that so much. I loved Mary Weissman in this episode. I know that there are some people who find Tilly a little bit annoying. I thought she was wonderful in this episode. I loved seeing her as a team player. I loved that one scene where I can't remember the character's name, but the daughter drops their water on the ground, and Tilly could have won, but she walks over there and she pours water into their bowl and helps them up, and they walk to the finish line. Yeah, and I thought that's why Tilly's at Starfleet Academy.
However, the scene before where she's kind of like, "Whoa, I'm going to fall down," he grabs that girl and goes, "You're a little shit," you know that?
I loved that.
Like, whoa, where did that come from, Tilly? Like,
well, were you not paying attention to the episode? They really kind of are.
Yeah, well, it's nevertheless, no, she was good in the episode. It was a good use of her. There's also a real undertone that they kind of allude to, that Tilly's got a real problem at Starfleet that we don't know about yet. She don't want to go back, I don't think.
I have noticed. I'm certain that they're probably going to allude to it again in the future. And I think Tilly's going to be fine going back to the Academy, because I still think Tilly's going to be part of Starfleet Academy.
She signed a contract at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that Starfleet Academy is going to be Discovery 2.0. I think we're going to see lots of crossover characters. I would not be surprised to see Burnham as a semi-regular, kind of like Saru is this season, where she shows up every few episodes. Because I mean, that whole thing about, you should come join me at the academy. Oh, I don't tempt me. Yeah, wink, wink. I would not be shocked to see Rayner in some kind of capacity.
She's like the practical trainer. So when they have to do practical exercises, she takes them up in the ship and makes their life a living hell.
I could see Rayner doing that.
Oh, yes.
Burnham would be the cool professor.
Yeah.
Who comes in and says, "Hey, you know what? Let's have class out on the quad. It's just a nice day today. Let's go out under that big ass millennium old tree that we saw in that one episode, so we can reuse those special effects."
Mate, we better move on. I think we've got so many comments in there. Get the comment section up, Jace, because
comments.
Yeah, comments. Here we go, because we're going to go in the chat.
Oh. Okay, so our first comment comes from Deman. I heard this was the weakest episode of the season. Who told you that? Who told you that?
To you.
They lied.
Mm-hmm.
We do have Captain Joe in the chat. He says he is slowly healing.
Stop
whining. Joe, I had my butt bug removed, and I was at work the next day. I just had to sit on a donut.
We know you're fine, but it is all about making sure this little fella's going to recover properly. All right.
Yes, I agree. Yay.
Yeah.
That's what I like about doing the comments, is I can take things out of context. Okay. D-Man says it's so weird not seeing Joe on. I agree. It is.
Yeah,
weird.
I agree. Wasn't our choice. Wasn't our choice.
Yes.
He forced it upon us. He selfishly thought about his health rather than us. So
My Figure Universe says Prime Directive, you say? That's a suggestion. Yes.
Yep, the Prime suggestion.
Show me a Star Trek captain who has not violated the Prime Directive in one way or another.
Unavoidable.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable, really.
So Aaron Sugar says he wanted to know more about the lady whose job it was to clear the dust, and if she didn't do it, someone else would have to. Very reminiscent of the novel The Woman in the Dunes. I'm not familiar with that, but Aaron is a heck of a reader, so I'm actually curious about her now.
And clearly my head goes to Dune, and yes, a missed opportunity not to have some giant sandworms come and attack them. But
Cosmic Space Mom says she signed Captain Dove's permission slip so he can return next week. So
excellent.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
Mom. I appreciate
Thank you, Cosmic Mom. We do need him back.
Let's see if we can find any more. Oh, here we go. VHS Jess is the Mirror Universe female counterpart.
Hey, yeah. Hopefully way hotter. Well,
yes.
Hopefully way hotter.
Well, you know.
You never know. I mean,
just looking for more relevant comments here. Let's see here. There's a lot of irrelevant comments in here.
My Figure Universe
right
too. Can I just mention My Figure Universe? Just put up a post, I think less than a day ago, with him. He received his Captain's Quadrant shirt and baseball cap. I wish I had the image. He looks fantastic in it.
He had them so meticulously folded and displayed. I was just like, wow, who did that?
Yeah, it still makes me laugh, the fact that My Figure Universe, who deserves those items, has promotional material that I've designed. Yeah, I don't have either of them.
I'm sure we'll probably throw you a bone this summer. Speaking of which, My Figure Universe says the best part was seeing a new culture in the Star Trek universe and not redoing something we've seen 100 times before. I was a little disappointed that they didn't go to the Denobulans, because I'm just like, oh yeah, Phlox, I love Phlox. But they did something different. They did something different we'd never seen, and I loved it. I thought it was
expanding the universe.
Expand that universe. Yes, expand that universe, just like my waistline. Okay, so that is those are all the comments. Like I said, there's a ton more comments, but it's mostly because Captain Dove is in there, like just
like a maniac typing away, trying to back his way out of his misnaming me on the show. I didn't mean it.
It's like
Too
Trump
bad.
on Truth Social. It's like, how dare they? How dare they? How dare you say, hey, your name is VHS Jess?
There we go. Well, thanks for the comments, guys. And we'll touch base into the comments back at the end of the show. Now we're going to move on to our next segment, Jason, which is in the news. And I think we've got a lovely news story this week to do. Once I bring it up, here we go.
Let me catch up.
All right. I thought this was a wonderful good news story coming from Toronto, Jason, where they film all of Trek these days. And Discovery has renamed one of the studios up at Pinewood Studios in Toronto the Star Trek stage.
Yay!
Which I think shows a lot of confidence, not only in the brand itself, but obviously moving forward and more shows to come. It's like, hey, you guys spend enough money with us. We love you. We're going to name a studio after you. Keep working here. So I thought that was a very sweet story to know they have a dedicated set now.
I agree. And it's great to see the cast there enjoying the fruits of their labor as well. I love seeing them have a good time.
How do you not steal that costume when you finish the season, right? Like, you got to take that jacket home at least, right?
Yeah, or at least like palm a comm badge on your way out.
Yeah, because they're my favorite suits, to be honest. Favorite uniforms in the Discovery series so far. I think they look fantastic.
Yeah. Apparently comm badge theft was such a problem on the TNG set that whenever Denise Crosby left after her last episode playing Yar, Rick Berman walked up to her and took the comm badge off of her uniform himself and said, "You don't need that anymore."
Oh, that's horrible.
Wow,
isn't it?
that is horrible. But
don't
steal this. I'm going to steal this. Would you rather be trapped in a room with Rick Berman or a bear?
Rick
Ladies,
Berman
let
or
us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, very topical. Very topical. There you go. But no, great news story. It looks like Star Trek's going to have a long future up there at Toronto's Pinewood Studios. I think that's wonderful. And also wonderful for some of the people that we know personally who work up in Toronto quite regularly. Hopefully some of those people get an opportunity to do some more work at the Star Trek stage. Rick, what's that all about? A bear?
Well, I clicked the wrong comment. There we go. A bear.
A bear. Yeah. Joe went, nah, let's stay with the problematic guy. I'll hang out with him.
But what if the bear comes out and says "Kapla" and starts charging you?
Exactly. I don't know.
Klingon bear. Plot twist. Klingon bear.
And then if you mix genres, we give him a bunch of cocaine, and then we have a Klingon cocaine bear.
Okay, I'm going to let you in on a Star Trek secret.
Mm-hmm.
All Klingons go into war significantly buzzed on cocaine.
Oh yeah,
that's why they're crazy. They walk in just ah!
That raises an interesting point because I've always wanted to know was it Kestrel White? What's in that? What is that? Is that meth? Is it coke? Is it like
it's cocaine it's cocaine and Monster Energy drink mixed together.
Added some Nestle Quick just to give it that white look.
Lots of sugar, so just to get them good and addicted to it.
Oh, there you go. So, but there you go. I mean, it's mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
I love me mayonnaise too.
I hope it's mayonnaise.
Well, I'm going to freak you guys out because when I come up and see you guys in 4 weeks and we have any French fries, we call them chips here, mate. Mayonnaise, please. Mayonnaise. Dipping them in mayonnaise.
I believe you because whenever I was in Japan, they served mayonnaise on pizza, which I was very surprised about. I was just like, what is the deal with mayonnaise here? Yeah. Apparently, people on that side of the world enjoy their mayonnaise. Australia, Japan. My goodness, my goodness. It sounds kind of weird as an American white guy. I hate mayonnaise.
It's pretty well known, isn't it? In America, people go, mayonnaise is disgusting.
Yeah. I prefer Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
which is what I believe they call Ferengi weapons in the first season.
Miracle whip. Yeah. Whatever happened to those weapons? Were they ever used in Deep Space?
They were not used in Deep Space Nine, but they were used in Star Trek Enterprise.
Were they?
Yes, in that one episode where the Ferengi come in and raid the ship, they've got the energy whips. They've got the miracle whips.
Sweet.
Yes, it's
The
amazing.
miracle whips. That's what Paramount need to call them now. That's it. We've changed canon forever.
Yep. We can do that. We can change canon on our own. So hashtags Star Trek Miracle Whip.
Oh well, we've made butt bugs canon.
That's right.
Well, we've assisted in making it
yeah,
canon.
I think Lower Decks did that before we did. Lower Decks Miracle Whip.
Yeah. And of course, remember Jason's little tagline, save Lower Decks, and my little hashtag, justice for Saru.
Yes.
As in Miracle, they kept using them after we saw the whip. Yeah.
I thought the whip was kind of
cool. Don't have long range. If that was their main weapon, right? But, Starfleet officer's 20 feet away. It's not much of a challenge, is it? Bzz. Away you go.
Whap.
Whap. Imagine they do that too. They did their own sound effects. Like,
you know that Armin Shimmerman was going. Whoosh, whoosh. Quit making the sound effects, Armin. Never.
It was Quark. He'd probably try to sell it to the soldiers afterwards. Barely used. All right, well, that's kind of wraps it up. We're getting a fairly abbreviated one. So let's fill it out a little bit. Jace, any more of the comments? What's going on in the comments tonight? What do people think of this episode? Not much. Not much.
No, you're putting me on the spot here. Like I said,
I am putting it on the spot.
There's lots of people talking to each other in the comments or ignoring the show.
Yeah, Joe's like doing
I get you.
Two-word comments like ha ha ha, or that's awesome, or I'm in bed.
My butt.
We could have so much fun if we just reshuffle these messages. I'm in bed. Yeah, that's nice. Kind of gross, but damn, Rick. A bear. There we go. We're just recycling the old messages at this point. No, guys, look, overall, though, I mean, just don't tell my wife. Overall, though,
I smell a new segment.
Oh, what's the new segment?
Comments out of context.
Oh, yes, I think so. Looks like I'll be making the intro, the bumper for that this week.
See, Joe's right there. He agrees. Yeah.
Joe will be back. He will be back, and he's got to get healthy, Jason, because there's a very important reason for that. That is, of course, because you, me, and the great man will indeed be together at Trek Long Island. Yes,
indeed.
You'll be able to see us there live with a cast of, well, you'll see us there live, but also who will be there are all these great people, as you can see. So, and Joe, I believe, will have a special announcement to make next week around our trip to Trek Long Island, which is going to be very exciting. What it is, we have no idea, but he will tell us.
I know what it is. I know what
it is.
Yep,
I do. Yeah,
I made him tell me.
Cool. But there you go. Fantastic. Well, guys, remember, get your tickets to Trek Long Island. It's not that far away. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and all those kind of wonderful things. You can catch me and Jason not only here at Captain's Quadrant, but we're over in the Jason Roy Gaston channel. And Jason, you've got a bit of an announcement to make around. We're very close, but we're not quite there.
Oh,
but how are we going over the Jason Roy? Yeah.
We're almost at 20K followers, and I could not be happier.
Pat ourselves on the back for that.
Very much so.
It's very good. And over there, we talk a whole slew of stuff, old movies. We talk about some of the greatest animated shows ever, Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're currently talking Gargoyles. X-Men.
We're currently talking Gargoyles, but they won't show up on the channel for about a month.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a teaser. Sorry. But there's lots of great stuff on that channel, so go check it out. And of course, make sure you're here also for the Star Trek Discovery Theories show every week with Jason and Joe. Where they kind of theorize what may happen this week. Wonder what their strike rate is? Pretty bad. But
Yeah, it's like 99% wrong.
but it's still a fun little show they do on a Tuesday night. I believe it's a Tuesday night or a Monday night.
I think it's a
And
Monday for Americans, Tuesdays for Australians. Yes.
There you go. And which also reminds me, today being in Australia, we're May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all.
Yep. It's not quite there yet.
Not quite there
for
yet.
us. Not
but
for
for
us.
me it is. For me
No.
it is.
We're still
All
on
right.
episode 3. And may I just say before we get out of here, if you happen to be in the DFW area, come on out and join me. I've got a live show. It's going to be May 11th out at Funky Town Focus, the sound and fury of Jason Roy Gaston. Get your tickets now. You can go to funkytownfocus.com to learn more.
And the best part is, I think he's going to be wearing pants that night, which is going to be really
I
exciting.
make no guarantees of anything.
Shocking. All right, on that note, let's get this classy show done, Jason. Thank you all to the live audience for hanging around tonight. I know we're all missing Joe as well. We want you to make a speedy recovery, Joe, and welcome back for next week where you'll be. Won't you take me to Funky Town? I've lost that reference.
Because
Yay,
Funky's
pants.
non-focus. I was literally just talking about that.
Ah, yeah, that's right. But I don't listen
Oh
when you
my
talk. I just
God.
wait for you to stop murmuring whatever you're saying, and then I speak.
I'm the same way.
Let's get out of here because this is a train wreck. See you guys. Wow, I thought that would have been easier without Joe, but it's a lot harder. We miss you, Joe.
Yes, we miss